What if I told you that everything you know about Las Vegas is about to disappear? The neon chaos, the spontaneous energy, the feeling that anything could happen at any moment. Locals are sounding the alarm that 2026 could be the year Vegas transforms into something unrecognizable, not destroyed by collapse or disaster, but quietly reshaped by technology, corporate control, and decisions being made right now. If you have ever loved Vegas, planned a trip, or wondered why it already feels different, this is why. The changes are already in motion, and by the time most people notice, the Vegas they loved will already be gone. And the first sign of that transformation is already watching you. Number 10. Strip surveillance expansion. Walk down the strip today, and you probably do not think twice about the cameras. They have been there for years. But what is coming in 2026 is something entirely different. New artificial intelligence-powered camera systems are being deployed across the resort corridor that do not just record, they analyze. These next-generation systems can track foot traffic patterns, flag what they consider suspicious behavior, and monitor crowd flow in real time. For casinos, it is marketed as safety. For tourists, it changes everything about how freely you move. The technology is already being tested. Strip casinos operate thousands of surveillance cameras per property, and the new systems promise to give security teams eyes that never blink and never miss a detail. Law enforcement has already installed dozens of cameras along Las Vegas Boulevard, connected to regional counterterrorism centers. The expansion will only accelerate. Some locals worry this creates a chilling effect on the carefree atmosphere Vegas was built on. The city that once celebrated anonymity and second chances is quietly becoming one of the most watched places in America. Sure, casinos have always monitored the gaming floor, but the new systems extend far beyond slot machines and blackjack tables. They track you from the moment you step onto the sidewalk. For a destination that sold itself on escapism, that shift in surveillance culture could fundamentally alter what it feels like to visit. And surveillance is just the beginning, because what is happening to the prices might be even more unsettling. Number 9. Dynamic pricing for everything. You have probably experienced surge pricing with rideshare apps. Now imagine that same model applied to your hotel room, your show tickets, and even the bottle of water you grab from the lobby shop. That is exactly what is spreading across Las Vegas. And by 2026, it could become the norm for nearly everything. Hotels are already adopting dynamic pricing models where room rates change in real time based on demand, occupancy, and special events. What cost $200 on Tuesday could cost $400 on Friday without any warning, but it does not stop at rooms. Recent reports found that lobby shops at major strip properties are now using dynamic pricing on everyday items. The price of sunscreen can spike on hot afternoons. Bottled water costs more on busy weekends. One study found water prices jumping as much as 40% the moment temperatures exceed 105 degrees. The algorithms react instantly. Locals fear this unpredictability will push out casual visitors who cannot stomach surprise charges at every turn. Resort fees already rose 11% this year, pushing the average nightly charge past $40 at most properties. Add fluctuating prices on top of that, and budgeting a Vegas trip becomes nearly impossible. The spontaneity that made Vegas special is being replaced by constant calculation. Every purchase becomes a gamble, and not the fun kind. But if you think the pricing games are frustrating, wait until you see what is happening on the actual casino floor, because the games themselves are changing too. Number 8. Casinos shifting to skill games. For decades, the casino experience was simple. You sat down, you pulled a lever, or pushed a button, and luck decided your fate. That model is being quietly disrupted. Gaming manufacturers are rolling out skill-based machines that blend traditional slot mechanics with video game-style elements. One new machine features an actual steering wheel where players race for bonuses. Another mimics mobile puzzle games. The goal is to attract younger gamblers who grew up on video games and have shown little interest in traditional slots. Station Casinos is already placing these machines across their properties. Industry insiders say the rollout will accelerate through 2026 as casinos desperately try to capture a demographic that walks straight past the slot floor to restaurants and nightclubs. The shift represents a fundamental change in casino culture. Pure chance is giving way to performance. Your reaction time and gaming skills could determine your payout. Some players welcome the change. Others see it as another way casinos are engineering experiences to maximize extraction while pretending to offer something new. For older gamblers who built their Vegas routines around familiar machines, the floor is becoming foreign territory. The sounds are different. The interfaces are different. The social element of sitting next to strangers all hoping for the same lucky spin is disappearing. Vegas casinos have always evolved, but this shift feels more significant. It is not just updating the machines, it is changing who the casino is designed for. And speaking of extraction, the resort fee situation is about to get even more complicated. Number 7. Resort fees getting replaced here is a twist nobody saw coming. After years of outrage over hidden resort fees, some hotels are talking about eliminating them entirely. Sounds like good news, right? Not so fast. The catch is that many properties plan to replace separate fees with all-in pricing that bundles everything into a single rate. On paper, it looks simpler. In practice, locals suspect it is just another way to raise prices while appearing more transparent. The Federal Trade Commission already requires hotels to disclose all mandatory fees up front as of 2025. Some properties responded by simply raising base rates and absorbing the fees. Others are experimenting with all-inclusive packages that bundle rooms, food, drinks, and amenities. Industry insiders question whether these packages can deliver consistent value or if they will become another way to obscure what you are actually paying for. One major resort recently waived all fees through summer to attract visitors during a tourism slump. That kind of desperation move signals how uncertain the pricing landscape has become. For visitors, this means more homework before booking. The days of comparing straightforward room rates are gone. Now you need to decode what is included, what is extra, and whether the bundled price actually saves you anything. Transparency was supposed to help consumers. Instead, it may have just made the shell game more sophisticated. And while pricing gets more confusing, the entertainment options that defined Vegas are quietly disappearing too. Number 6. More stadium focus, fewer old shows. The Tropicana is gone. Demolished to make room for a $1.5 billion baseball stadium that will bring the Athletics to Las Vegas by 2028. Construction started this year, and the project represents a massive bet on sports tourism. But that bet comes at a cost. Classic Vegas entertainment is being squeezed out to make room for event-driven tourism that fills hotel rooms on game days but leaves gaps in between. This year alone, multiple longtime Strip productions closed their doors. Big-name residencies and high-priced tickets have pushed out smaller shows that once gave visitors affordable entertainment options. Magic acts that ran for years. Comedy shows that built loyal followings. Musical tributes that cost $30 instead of $300. One by one, they are disappearing. The economics are brutal. Properties can make more money converting theaters into spaces for stadium-adjacent events and sports viewing parties. The shift reflects a broader corporate calculation. Vegas is chasing major league legitimacy with the Raiders, the Golden Knights, Formula One, and now baseball. But in the process, it is abandoning the variety that made the city special. Not everyone wants to attend a concert or a game. Some visitors came for the weird afternoon magic shows, the quirky tributes, the entertainment you could stumble into without planning months ahead. That Vegas is fading, and the physical experience of simply walking the Strip is about to feel very different. Number 5. Pedestrian restrictions on the Strip. The Strip has always been organized chaos. Street performers, costumed characters, vendors selling everything from bottled water to selfie sticks. It is messy, loud, and completely uncontrolled. That is changing fast. New regulations are banning vendors from the entire Strip corridor, including around Allegiant Stadium. Street performers face increasingly strict rules about where they can operate. Some officials want to treat pedestrian bridges like crosswalks, banning anyone from stopping and blocking foot traffic. Clark County passed regulations requiring vendors to stay at least 1,500 feet from resort hotels and major event facilities. The entire Strip corridor is now essentially off-limits. Operating hours are restricted. Insurance requirements have been added. The goal is a more controlled, sanitized walking experience. Supporters say it improves safety and pedestrian flow. Critics argue it strips away the authentic street energy that made Vegas feel alive and unpredictable. This is not just about convenience. The costumed characters and street musicians were part of what gave Vegas its carnival atmosphere. Without them, the Strip risks becoming just another outdoor mall. Beautiful, yes. Expensive, certainly, but stripped of the human chaos that made it feel like a place where anything could happen. The changes are happening gradually enough that most visitors will not notice until the transformation is complete. And while the streets get more controlled, something even stranger is about to roll through them. Number 4. Autonomous taxi rollout. Waymo announced it will launch robotaxi service in Las Vegas by summer 2026. The self-driving vehicles, featuring both Jaguar and Zeekr platforms, will cover the Strip and eventually expand to the airport. Service will become available through their app, just like in San Francisco, Phoenix, and Los Angeles. For visitors, it promises faster transportation and consistent pricing without the variability of human drivers negotiating unfamiliar routes. The rollout comes as Amazon-owned Zoox already operates free robotaxi service around the Strip area. Multiple companies are racing to capture the Las Vegas market, targeting 1 million trips per week across all their service areas by the end of 2026. The technology is proven, the convenience is undeniable, but locals see a darker side to the transition. Every robotaxi on the road represents jobs lost for human drivers who built their lives around serving tourists. Las Vegas has always been a city of service workers, dealers, waiters, drivers, entertainers. The human touch was part of the experience. Robotaxis are efficient, but they cannot tell you about the best local restaurant or share a story about the time a celebrity forgot their wallet in the back seat. They cannot build the kind of rapport that turned visitors into regulars. As automation spreads across the city, Vegas risks becoming a place where efficiency replaces personality. And efficiency is about to become critical for a reason Vegas cannot control. Number 3, water use crackdowns. Las Vegas gets 90% of its water from Lake Mead, and Lake Mead is in crisis. The reservoir has dropped roughly 160 feet since 2000 and sits about 175 feet below full capacity. Federal officials have declared a Tier 1 shortage for the 5th consecutive year, forcing Nevada to reduce its water allocation by 21,000 acre-feet. By mid-2026, projections suggest the lake could fall even lower, triggering Tier 2 restrictions with additional cuts. For the resort industry, this means serious changes ahead. New golf courses are already banned because the water cannot be reclaimed and returned to the system. Existing courses operate under strict budgets. Decorative grass has been ripped out across the valley. Some industry watchers predict resorts will begin rebranding toward desert-sustainable aesthetics, replacing lush landscaping with drought-tolerant designs. The optics of fountains and artificial lakes become harder to justify when the region is rationing drinking water. The crisis extends beyond aesthetics. Current agreements governing Colorado River management expire at the end of 2026. 7 states are locked in tense negotiations over future water allocations, and if no deal is reached, the federal government can step in and impose its own rules. For 40 million people who depend on this river, the stakes are enormous. Vegas has actually reduced its water usage through conservation and recycling, but the fundamental math is brutal. The water is running out, and the city has to adapt. Yet while the Strip faces restrictions, something interesting is happening just a few miles away. Number 2, neighborhood development off-Strip. While the Strip struggles with tourism declines and rising costs, neighborhoods just minutes away are experiencing a boom. The Arts District, once a quiet collection of furniture stores and vacant lots, has transformed into a thriving destination packed with galleries, restaurants, coffee shops, and bars. Multiple apartment complexes are under construction, with openings planned for 2026. The area has expanded well beyond its original 18 blocks and now hosts monthly First Friday events drawing thousands of visitors. The Fremont East Entertainment District has evolved into its own nightlife hub with cocktail bars, live music venues, and restaurants that attract visitors seeking something beyond the sanitized Strip experience. Locals predict this off-Strip development will accelerate as tourists look for alternatives to overpriced resort corridors. The appeal is real. Lower prices, more authentic atmosphere, and the feeling of discovering something hidden. Some see it as the beginning of a new Vegas identity. For longtime residents, the transformation is both exciting and bittersweet. The neighborhoods they knew are changing rapidly. Rents are rising as popularity increases. But there is also hope that these areas will preserve something of what Vegas used to feel like before corporate consolidation turned the Strip into a luxury extraction machine. The shift in tourism patterns could fundamentally reshape how visitors experience the city. But all of these changes point to something bigger and harder to reverse. Number 1. Vegas might finally lose its old identity. Every change on this list points toward the same conclusion. The Vegas of neon chaos, cheap thrills, and spontaneous adventure is being systematically replaced by something more controlled, more corporate, and more predictable. Artificial intelligence cameras track your movements, algorithms adjust your prices in real time, robots drive your taxi, water restrictions reshape the landscape. Street performers are banned. Classic shows close for stadium events. What remains is efficient, profitable, and utterly soulless. Locals who remember the old Vegas say the transformation has been gradual enough that most visitors do not notice. But stand back and look at the trajectory. Every decision optimizes for extraction over experience. Every upgrade prioritizes control over chaos. The city that once sold dreams of possibility is selling something else now. A carefully managed simulation of excitement with surge pricing built into every moment. The spontaneity is engineered out. The risk is calculated away. What you get is a theme park version of what Vegas used to be. The question is whether this transformation is inevitable or whether there is still time to preserve what made Vegas worth visiting. Some believe the economic pressures are too strong. Others hope the off-Strip neighborhoods will carry forward the authentic spirit. But make no mistake, 2026 will mark a turning point. The decisions being made right now will determine whether Las Vegas remains a place of genuine magic or becomes just another overpriced destination wearing a costume of its former self. What do you think? Is there any saving old Vegas? Or is the dream already gone? Drop your thoughts below and let us know.